Oh, welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Rambo Last Blood is getting slammed by not only critics, but also the original author and creator of Rambo. Now, I thought I'd do this video because I've reviewed Rambo Last Blood. It's up here. I really liked it. And I liked it for many reasons. I mean, yeah, it plays on some tropes and things like that, but I actually think it's quite well shot. I actually think it's reasonably well edited. I actually think that it's alright. I think it's a good movie. I think it's a great Rambo movie, and a good movie nonetheless. Now, it's really telling when we start to look at what people are saying about this movie. I mean, you only have to go and look at IGN's review to see, 6,000 dislikes, because all they're doing is talking about politics. All they're doing is talking about how it's apparently racist. You've got Grace's review from Beyond the Trailer, 4,000 dislikes. Yes, I was one of them, because I watched it. And when she said she doesn't even feel comfortable saying the line, "You don't know how black a man's heart can be," you know you're on some absolute pansy-ass douche shit right there. How on earth this woman has 852,000 followers when she doesn't even understand? Literally, too much violence. Too much politics. Like, oh no, Mexico, you're depicting Mexican cartel as being bad. Would you only be happy with white men being the bad guys in this? Like, what are you doing? So I thought I'd do this video just because I think we need to rally behind this film. Genuinely, I think we need to rally behind this film because it's a miracle it got made in this current, social political climate we live in, and I think it's a good movie. I think people would enjoy this film. I think you should go out and watch it. And many people that have been on my review and have come back after watching it have gone, "Yeah, you absolutely nailed it. I really enjoyed this movie." And yeah, there's some people that were going into it expecting a directing auteur. Why are you doing that in a Rambo movie? I've got no idea. But yeah, there will be some people that will be disappointed. Now, let's get into what the Rambo creator has gone and said about Last Blood. And I think it's important to actually go and look at what the Rambo creator has said about the other films as well. Because it's not just Last Blood. This guy just doesn't like the fact that he sold the rights. So Digital Spy have written this article, and it's quite misleading to a certain degree. So Rambo Last Blood is the 5th film in the Sylvester Stallone-led franchise, and practically everyone is hoping that it is the last. Speak for yourself, Joe Anderton. I'd love to see another of these. I'd be all over it. You fucking soy boy. The film begins with the aging soldier whiling away in his twilight years, which are soon rudely interrupted when his adoptive granddaughter is kidnapped by a sex trafficking ring in Mexico. So bad, bad people. Now this is where we get to the nonsense, right? Reviews for the film have not been kind, calling Rambo Last Blood disappointing and offensive. Offensive to who? Do we need to pander to sex traffickers now? To the Mexican cartel? Do we need to paint them as good guys? Who is this offensive to? Because I've watched a bunch of Mexicans review this. They don't give a shit. But you, white boy, Joe Anderton, you're offended by it? Why? Why do we care that sex traffickers are offended? Why? Please tell me why. Oh, tell me why. Why? Seriously. Are calling out the excessive violence. It's a fucking Rambo film. It's a Rambo film. Why are you calling out excessive violence in a Rambo film is beyond me. And generic script. Did you watch Rambo 2? No, sorry, Rambo 3. And now, the original book's author and creator, David Morrell, has chimed in, and he is absolutely not jumping to its defense. "I agree with these Rambo Last Blood reviews," he tweeted. "The film is a mess. Embarrassed to have my name on it." But he continues, right? And this is where I just think, mate, you're virtue signalling. Are you releasing a new book soon? I think you probably are. And he wasn't content with just stopping there, as he later expanded on his disappointment to Newsweek, explaining, "I felt degraded and dehumanized after I left the theatre." Why? It's a movie. Instead of being soulful, this new movie lacks one. I felt I was less a human being for having seen it. And today, that's an unfortunate message. What? Not every film needs a message, Milado. That film is typical of ultra-violent 1970s exploitation grindhouse films, the technique of which Rambo Last Blood resembles. The sets here look cheap, the direction is awkward. I like the sets. And a lot of it looked like it was shot on location, so I don't know what you're talking about. The direction is awkward. I enjoyed the direction. I thought it was... I quite liked the framing of the shot. Cinematography was pretty good, to be fair. Rambo could be called John Smith and the film wouldn't change, he added. It assumes the audience is familiar with Rambo's background, whereas anyone under 40, this is where you're wrong, will wonder what on earth is going on with those tunnels. No, they won't. David Morrell is a best-selling author whose debut novel First Blood was turned into the original film Rambo 1982. Now, it's important to note, he doesn't like Rambo anyway. First Blood author says Rambo became a different character in sequels. Morrell, though, was satisfied with the eventual casting of Sylvester Stallone, so he doesn't like the fact he sold his novel. In my novel, he's very angry. In the movie, he's a victim. And so they go for these almost deer-like woe is me eyes, and they communicate very well. Some people say, well, how can you be acting if you don't have dialogue? Well, actually, if you don't have dialogue, that really is. No. Then it really gets hard, yeah. The ending is very different. They also minimalize the police chief's character. Clearly, in the movie First Blood, Rambo was emphasized and the police chief is kind of reduced. All that said, you know, movies and novels are different train tracks. Stephen King is a friend, and after the film came out, David, I think you got treated about as well as Hollywood can treat a writer, because I actually recognized the plot of the book. But that's when the Rambo phenomenon really took off. So you got in 2 and 3, he's a different character from the first movie, and he's a different character from my novel. And then in 4, he's different again. I knew for me, selling the Rambo movie rights was a risk. You could have a film that's really terrible, and we know of authors who've had real embarrassments made on the screen. I feel I've been treated pretty well. I've got no reason to be embarrassed with the movie of First Blood. Then things moved on, so I just became kind of stoically adjusted. I thought of the novels as one track and the Rambo publicly as another train track. Sometimes I joke that I'm Rambo's father and the character grew up and did stuff that I had nothing to do with. So he doesn't like Rambo anyway, ladies and gentlemen. He does not like Rambo anyway. What? Honestly. Ladies and gents. I wonder if David Morrell is releasing a movie. How can you feel degraded and dehumanized for watching a guy just kick ass? And it's amazing, like your comparison to 1970s exploitation grindhouse. That's what we want. That is what I wanted from this film. I got everything I wanted. I got a dude kicking ass. I wanted it probably to be a bit longer, to be fair, but I like it. And the fact that we're talking about offensive, it's offensive. To who? To whom is this offensive? You know? Like, who is this actually offending? Because it's not offending Mexicans, because Mexicans are watching my videos and they said they're not offended. Right? Are we worried that this is going to be offensive to, like, Mexican cartel? Why are we worried about that? And there's nothing in this movie that actually depicts Mexico as an out-and-out shithole, or as Mexicans as out-and-out shithole people. There's nothing like that at all. Last Blood feels like a fan tribute. Surely that's what we want. We wanted a film for the fans, did we not? Maybe I'm just lost on it. I don't understand. And it's like, we only hope that if he does star in another movie, it takes it a little bit more seriously. I like the fact that this wasn't super serious. Not every movie has to tell a story. Not every movie needs to align with your political beliefs and has to be pushing the current social political narrative moving forwards. Not every movie has to do that. I like the fact that this movie wasn't like that. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know down below. Don't read everything you say, everything you see, because You know, we've got the Rambo creator here. He doesn't like Rambo anyway. He doesn't like the movies. So don't read it. Don't believe everything you say. He's disowned all of them, essentially. He firmly believes that they're not part of Rambo anyway. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new here, hit subscribe. If you want to support the channel further, I've got Patreon, link down below in the description box. I'm going to be readjusting my kind of target soon, because if I reach like a certain level, it'd be great to turn, you know, all adverts off on the channel, but we're a little way off that yet. Also got merch underneath every video. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching with Miss Age. Take care.